It's Monday, November 19, and time for your Barbados Today morning news update. Thanks for joining us. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Prime Minister Mia Mottley has repeated her dismay at the ongoing retrenchment exercise, and she has also suggested that there could have been a deliberate attempt to jeopardize the process. Prime Minister Mottley, however, assured that action would be taken to address the matter. The island's leader made the comments following the signing of $100 million loan agreement with the Inter-American Development Bank yesterday.
I'm deeply disappointed about the manner in which this is done, but it goes even further now. I'm now satisfied that there's an element of sabotage in respect to some aspects of it, and it is not because I'm not blaming anybody, but I'm not blind. There was a recommendation to lay off some people in the health sector, which I vetoed. People did not know that I vetoed it because I've been very, very clear that the basis of the layoffs has to be in areas where we can restructure and repurpose in the way in which I spoke just now with the modernization loan or the capital works, so that we can find people to get work again. Little did we know that that recommendation, which was nothing more than a recommendation, should find itself circulating in social media yesterday morning as a fact, as a fait accompli. And similarly, there have been one or two other instances that have been brought to my attention in the last 24 hours where persons acted without the requisite authority. Suffice it to say that fret not thyself. There will be order and accountability in the government of Barbados.
The Prime Minister also confirmed her government is offering voluntary separation packages to 4 categories of public officers. The offer is being made to general workers, stenographer typists, clerk typists, and clerical officers. Mottley says the offer is being made to between 80 to 100 persons, noting that public servants who wish to exercise this option can do so by this Friday. She stressed that her government must bring the public service into the 21st century.
My government has committed to changing the framework in terms of how we treat to a protective services commission rather than a police services commission. We have a number of other disciplined hierarchical forces in the country: immigration, customs, prison, all of whom are not treated to in the context of a protective services commission, but are just dealt with the general public administration. That's not good enough because they have peculiar needs, as the AG would tell you. Secondly, we have committed to having and establishing the Teachers Service Commission because we believe that there are issues that are peculiar to teachers and educators that need to be addressed in a more seamless manner. Thirdly, we feel that there may well be a case also for how we deal with the general public administration, but that the rules that inform the management of the public service 50, 60, 70, some instances even longer than that years ago, can no longer.
Meanwhile, the Prime Minister is happy with news that the island received its first credit rating upgrade in more than a decade, but she made it clear that the work continues to turn around the economy. International rating agency Standard & Poor's raised its long and short-term local currency rating for Barbados from selective default to B-/B. S&P also assigned a B- local currency issue rating on the domestic debt issue in the recent debt exchange.
We are on our way back up 4 notches in one go for long-term domestic debt and 3 notches for short-term is great news, but it is not news that will allow us to rest on our laurels because we are not where we want to be. And this country must become accustomed again to shooting for the stars because that is who we are, that is who we've always been.
At the same time, Barbados is the first IDB borrowing member country to receive approval for special development lending. The lending instrument is a new budget support which is intended to help address the effects of a microeconomic crisis on a country's economic and social progress. IDB President Luis Alberto Moreno, in signing the $100 million loan agreement with Prime Minister Mottley at government headquarters yesterday, said he's seen clear signs that Barbados is on the road to recovery.
A number of things have changed for the better. There is already an approval of International Monetary Fund line of credit. There is a growing confidence in the direction of many of the difficult but correct policies that Prime Minister Motley is taking. We can see it already with what the rating agencies have done by basically taking the country out of selected default with a positive outlook going forward. And we equally hope that actually next week, our team that does everything related to the private sector, IDB Invest, will be visiting Barbados.
Bishop-elect of Barbados, Senator Reverend Michael Maxwell, says he's ready to serve, and one of his first orders of business will be to unify the Anglican Church. Speaking to his congregants at Sunday Mass at the Holy Trinity Church yesterday morning, Reverend Maxwell said while he is still adjusting to the news which came last Friday, he is aware that a mammoth task lies ahead, especially with what is currently taking place in society. However, the 47-year-old bishop-elect told Barbados Today following the service, with God's grace and strength, he is willing and ready to answer his calling.
Well, one of the first issues I believe, of course, is to deal with is try to unify our church again after the elections itself, but of course also the issues of the nation itself, what is going through with the Burke program. I think, of course, that the church itself has to have an integral role in responding pastorally to the needs of the people who will be affected by this transformation in our nation. And so, of course, I believe that, again, as bishop, I would have to hopefully be able to inspire the clergy and the parishes to be able to respond pastorally to the needs of our nation. And, of course, I will try to do my best from my level of involvement as leader of this church here.
Worshippers told Barbados Today they were happy with Reverend Maxwell's elevation to the top post in the Anglican Church.
I am happy for our priest. I hope that I know for sure that he would do a good job as bishop, and I wish him all God's blessing. We will miss him very badly because he's a people's person.
Having come church here under his stewardship, I found that he's, in my opinion, is kind of upright and forthright. In my opinion.
Upright and forthright?
Yeah.
Do you think he's going to do good?
Yes, because I think he has the church here together, so I don't see why he can't try to get the other churches embraced as well. I think it's a very good choice.
We are elated for Father Maxwell. It's a bit bittersweet because we know we'll be losing him to Holy Trinity Church, but we are gaining an excellent bishop. We are very proud of him, and we look forward to him doing great things. He's been quite an inspiration here at Holy Trinity, working with the youth, he's been really boots on the ground for us here at Holy Trinity. So we're extremely pleased, we're extremely proud, and we look forward to continuing to work with him wherever possible. And it's a very exciting moment for us here at Holy Trinity. It really is.
I think it is a good choice. I think that Father Maxwell has served this diocese faithfully and well, and that he has the potential to be a good bishop. And I wish him, on behalf of my family and of this entire Holy Trinity Church, God's blessings, and let him know that we are supporting him and praying for him.
Cyberton Miller, the wife of the late Cecil Miller, has been arrested and charged with her husband's murder. Miller's lifeless body was found at his number 92 Rowens Park North St. George residence on Tuesday, September 18. Cyberton Miller will appear in the District B Magistrates Court later today.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
In news from our regional neighbors, we head to the British Virgin Islands, where Governor Augustus Jespert says a general election will be held by April 16, 2019. Speaking through a media release, Jespert said the early poll is being held on the advice of Premier Dr. Orlando Smith. Jesper explained that the Premier believed the territory should forego a by-election to avoid having 2 elections in a short space of time. And finally, on the international scene, British Prime Minister Theresa May has made it clear that getting rid of her as a leader won't make delivering Brexit any easier. The Prime Minister made the comment on Sunday as she defended last week's draft agreement for leaving the EU and said there was a critical week ahead.
If we do not move forward with that agreement, nobody can know for sure the consequences that will follow. It would be to take a path of deep and grave uncertainty when the British people just want us to get on with it. They are looking to the Conservative Party to deliver a Brexit that works for the whole UK, a strong economy that keeps jobs safe and wages rising, and first-class public services we can rely on.
That's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media and bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. And you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Good morning.